Hello YouTube, welcome to another installment of MUET Reading Comprehension Strategies webinar. And here with me, we have three ladies from the Hoshi group. First, we have Adelina. Hello, Adelina.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Okay. And then next, we have Mashita. Hello, Mashita. Say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Okay. And finally, we have
Hello.
ELLYA. Okay.
Hello, everyone.
All right. Okay, so the three ladies are going to explain to you about the true, false, and not stated type question. And then deriving meaning from contextual clues type question. And then inference type question. Okay? Okay, so I hope you are ready with your notebook. And we are going to start with our first panelist, Adelina. And she's going to explain to you about the true, false, and not stated type question. Okay? So over to you,
Okay.
Adelina.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Okay. So, Assalamualaikum and a very good evening. I bid to Mr. Kamaraziz as well as to all my viewers. So today, this evening, I will be sharing with you on how you can master the FNS question. So, in MUET, the TFNS question is actually is usually located at the earliest at the beginning of the paper, and usually it consists of sentences. But in some practices that you can find in some MUET practices books, there are like some of them are around 7 to 8 questions. So moving on, I will be sharing with you today on how you can master your TFNS question. Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Wait a
There's a
minute.
little bit of a delay. That's okay.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Oh.
Yeah, it's raining.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay.
Okay.
So, I'm going to explain to you on how you can get a perfect score for your TFNS. So, the first step that you can do is that you can read this statement at least twice.
Before you go on any further, Adelina, can you please put your slides on presentation mode?
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
No problem. Okay.
Is it on presentation mode, sir?
No, it's not. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Wait.
Okay. So yeah, that's the icon.
Yeah, but
Okay. Okay.
I'm so sorry for the delay.
Okay, no problem. It's okay.
Okay.
Okay. Here
Is
we
it
go.
on presentation mode, sir?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So I'm going to begin again. So I'm going to explain to you on how you can get the perfect score for your TFNS. So the first step that you can do is that you can always read this statement twice. This is because you have to get the idea of what is the statement is all about. So when you first read the statement, understand it. But on the second time, you have to underline the keyword. What I meant by keyword is that you can underline the adjective, adverbs, modal verbs, names or numbers that are included in the statement. So after you have underlined the keyword, you can scan the passage for, wait, you can, sorry sir. After you are done with underlining the keyword, you can scan the passage for the keyword. Why? Because this is to make sure that you actually focus on what the statement is related to. So after you have scanned the passage for the keywords, it is important for you to also scan any possible synonyms that you can find in the text. It can either be synonyms or any kind of words that have like similar meaning to the keyword. So my tips for you is that to get you focused and not distracted by the other paragraph, you have to mark the paragraph. This is to make sure that you don't lose your focus, and this is to ensure that you are focused on that particular paragraph that has the keyword that you have found. So after you have marked the paragraph, you need to highlight the statement with the match word. What I meant by highlighting the statement with the match word is that you have to refer to the statement which has the keyword that you have underlined, so that you will be more focused on the statement in the text. So after that, after you have highlighted the statement with the match word, you have to do some bit of scanning. What I mean by scanning here is that if it is true, if your answer is true, if your answer is consistent to what is stated in the paragraph, then it means that it is true. What I mean by consistent is that if you can find the answer in the paragraph and it is correlate, then mark your answer as true. But if the information is opposite to the statement, then you have to mark your answer as false. What I mean by inconsistent is that the information, the keyword that you are looking for is stated in the paragraph, but then the information is opposite to what you are looking for. So that is how you conclude that the answer is false. Next, how you can spot if the answer is not okay. So next, the third option, the FNS question is not stated. So how you can identify not stated is by you have to ensure that there is no information given on the issue discussed on the text, which means that, okay, I believe that some people are quite confused with false and not stated. However, you have to really understand that if the answer is not stated, there is a there is no information. If you cannot find one or even more information that was given in the statement, then and you cannot find it in the text, then the answer is not stated. But if the answer is false, it is literally like the information that was given in the text is literally opposite to what the statement is written, to what the statement is about. I hope you understand the steps that I've been explaining to you, but I do understand if some of you might confuse with false and not stated. However, you have to really understand the difference between false and not stated is that false is that the information given in the text is inconsistent to what was written in the statement. But if it is not stated, there is no information, there is if you cannot find one or even more than that information, if you cannot find even one information that was written in the statement, then it can also be considered as not stated. Okay. And also, to make sure that you are not careless or you do not miss any important informations, you are encouraged to repeat the steps. To repeat the steps is to make sure that you get that you really get the answer correct. And so my last step for TFNS is that you have to double check if you mark the right answer, because I believe that some students have a little bit confusion, so they tend to mark the different answer from what they want to. So in order to avoid those kinds of mistakes, you have to double check if you mark the right answer. So I hope that you are clear with the steps that I have provided for you. So basically, I have provided at least 8 steps for you to get a perfect score for your TFNS. So I am moving on to I'm going to show you on how you can answer the question. I'm going to demonstrate to you 3 questions that which I get from the previous MUET question. So, okay. So what you are looking at is the previous MUET question. Is the MUET session 3 2018 MUET question, and I have chosen 3 questions that I can demonstrate to you on how you can answer. So firstly, okay, let's say, okay, if you see here, okay, the first statement is men prefer professions that are more highly paid and require less training. So the keyword that you can highlight here is that the keyword that you can highlight first is that man as noun.
Okay, Adina.
Yes,
So we will not able to see your question on the
Oh,
screen.
really?
Okay, yes.
Okay. Okay, wait.
Okay, what you can do
Wait,
is, okay,
yeah.
okay, you can,
What do you see in the screen?
your
Only my
SOP.
page. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I'm asking a friend to help me.
Okay, right. Now, I want you to share your screen again.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
I'll do it again.
all right.
Okay, is it clear, sir?
Okay, 1 second.
Can you see my question?
Okay, I can see your question. Thank you. Okay, proceed.
Can you see my question?
Yes, yes, Adina. We can see your question. Okay. Hello, Adina. Okay, we apologize for the technical difficulties. So we will resume our presentation with Adlina. Okay, Adlina.
Okay, I'm sorry for the... Okay. So I'm going to demonstrate to use my steps that you can use to answer the TFNS question. So the question that I've taken is from the previous MUET, which is MUET session 3 2018. So I've chosen some of the TFNS questions I would like to share with you today. So okay, let's start with the first question. So the first question here, the statement stated that men prefer professions that are more highly paid and require less training. So the keywords, so okay, as I said earlier, you have to read twice. So that was the first time I read it, and the second time I read it, that what I have to do is I have to underline the keyword. So what are the keywords that I can find in the statement? So what the keywords that I can find in the statement is that firstly man as in nouns, and second more highly paid, sorry, and require less training. So, and my other keyword is that I'm going to highlight prefer as well because it is important. So, okay. After I've highlighted the keyword, what I need to do is that I have to scan the passage as I mentioned earlier to you. So first I scan the passage. When I scan the text, I need to scan for the keywords that I've highlighted. So I've highlighted here man. So I can find the word man in the paragraph 1. So I'm going to highlight here man. And since I've highlighted more highly paid, so I also find the word higher here, higher paying fields. So as I stated earlier to you, as I mentioned earlier, you can also scan for words that have almost similar meaning to what was written in this. And I've highlighted here require less training, which I found in also paragraph 1. So I'm going to highlight require less training here. So the question said that men prefer professions that are more highly paid and require less training. So I have to read back the statement here. So it says here, in paragraph 1, it stated here that experts suspect that men are drawn to higher paying fields like computer engineering, which requires less training. So this delivers the same meaning as what was written in this statement. So to make it clear, I'm going to highlight to you the whole statement here so that you can see clearly. So I've highlighted the keywords with yellow highlighter, and I'm highlighting the statement with turquoise highlighter. Okay. So, in this text, it mentions that experts suspect that men are drawn to higher paying fields like computer game, which requires less training. So, I believe that this statement correlates with what was mentioned in the first statement. I believe that the information that was written here is consistent to what was written here. So, I believe that for the first question, I believe that the answer is true. So, this is how you get the answer. So if you find that the what was written in the question is consistent to what was written in the text, then you have to make sure, you have to believe, you have to be confident that the answer is true, because it is obvious that you can find the answer here. So next, let's move on to the next question, which is more women than men regard a career in medicine as a vocation. So what the keywords that I'm going to highlight to you is, I'm going to highlight more women than men, because I believe that it is because, wait, I'm sorry, I'm changing it to yellow. Okay, more women than men. That is the first keyword that I find for this statement. So next, the keyword is vocation. 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 Oh, sorry. Okay, a vocation. And regard a career, which is the verb. Okay. So okay, so let's try to the answer here in the statement, in the text. So we need to scan for the keywords, as what I have stated earlier. We have to scan for the keywords. So firstly, we have to uh, try to find the answer. So, more women than men. So, if you can see, there, okay. Firstly, what I find is the word vocation here. Is the vocation, because the vocation is only stated here. So I am sure that this question is related to this sentence. So it's here that medicine has moved from being a vocation, which is sad, Dr. Ribeiro said. So it does not mention here at all more women than men regard a career. So we cannot find any information that is related to more women than men regard a career in medicine as a vocation. So this is why if you cannot find one or more information that you have highlighted in the question, in this text, that means that the answer is not stated. So the answer for B is not stated. Okay, so moving on to my last question that I'm going to demonstrate to you. So okay. The last one is that the keyword that I'm going to highlight here, the Ribeiro as the noun, and yes, this one, why girls perform better than boys at primary school. So if you scan the word in the text, you can find okay, I have done this before. So, and when I first scan, I cannot find the exact word for that was stated in the statement. But what I found is that the word but before this, in my SOP, I told you that it is important for you to also identify what words to be synonym of the keywords that you have highlighted. So I've highlighted here Dr. Ribeiro. So I can find the word Dr. Ribeiro in the second paragraph. So I'm going to highlight Dr. Ribeiro as well. And the sentence in the text mentions that Dr. Ribeiro said research was needed to explore why boys are outpaced by girls at earlier levels of school. So the keyword that I've highlighted in the question is why girls perform better than boys at primary school. This has the same meaning as outpaced by why this delivers the same meaning as why boys are outpaced by girls at earlier levels of school. Because you can see here that the early levels of school refers to primary schools, and you can also and the meaning of why boys are outpaced by girls deliver the same meaning as why girls perform better than boys at primary school. Why girls perform better than boys. So what I can conclude is that the answer for this statement. So I'm going to highlight to you so that it is clear. So that you have to you can focus on this particular sentence. So the answer for this question is true. Why true? It is because that okay, I'm sorry. Why true? This is because the information that are stated in this question are consistent to what is mentioned in the text. So this is why the answer is true. So for the conclusion of my SOP is that you have to really understand the differences between true, false, and not stated. You have to bear in mind that false and not stated is a different thing. You have to bear in mind that false means that the answer that is provided, the statement that is provided is not consistent to what is mentioned in the question. But if it is not stated, you cannot find one or even more information that was mentioned in the question in the text. So this is like a simple way for you to not get confused between false and not stated. So I believe that so I hope that my explanation for TFNS is beneficial for you, and I hope that you can get a perfect score when you answer TFNS. And I hope that after listening to the steps that I have provided to you, you will be more focused and you will get a full mark for this section. So I'm praying the best for you. Good luck. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Adina, for that very insightful explanation. Okay, so now we will continue with Alia. So Alia is going to explain about the deriving meaning from contextualized clues, that question. Okay, so over to you, Alia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mr. and good evening to my friends and to viewers. So today I will present you my SOP for MAG question, which is deriving meaning from context. So first of all, I will explain to you how to identify MAG question. So firstly, usually MAG is directly asks you to find the synonym, the meaning of certain words. For example, the words X line 1 means blah blah blah, and the word is also in italic form. And this type of question require us to use our vocabulary knowledge, but we can also find the clues in the text. We can find the clues before or after the word. So different from INF, inference, we need to make an educated guess that my friend Mashita will explain to you later. So moving on to my MAG SOP. So this is my SOP for MNG. So the first step, how to master for MNG question is to read twice and understand the statement. This is important because you want to know what the question wants. And after you understand the statement, in step 2, you highlight the keywords. The keywords here means like the word that you need to find, the synonym that match with the answer option. And in step 3, you go to the passage and refer to the lines that were stated in the text. And then after you found the line that have the word, read and understand the text that was stated, and then identify the clues in the text. So the clues can be found before or after the word, phrase, or expression in the passage. And after you identify the clues in the step 6, look at the answer choices given one by one from A to D. And then after you identify the clues, you figure out the meaning of certain words based on clues given on the text. And in step 8, you repeat all the steps to make sure that you circle the correct answer. And finally, in last step, you pick the best answer. So moving on, I will demonstrate to you how to do my SOP for MNG question. So this is the text that I capture that related with the MNG question. So the first thing I need to do
Alia,
is...
we cannot see the question. Yes, okay.
Let me stop share.
All right, thank you.
Now you can see or not?
Okay, yes, we can.
Alright. So this is types of MNT question. So the first step is you read twice and understand the statement. So let me read for you. First question. Start the ball rolling. Line 79 means, okay, after you read and you understand what the question wants, you highlight the keywords. So the keyword is the word that you need to find the synonym that match with the answer option. So this is the keyword. Okay. So after you highlight the keyword, go to the passage and refer the lines that were stated in the text. So this is the text that I cut that related with the word that you have to find the meaning. And then what you need to do is you read and understand the text. So it is advisable to start the ball rolling now. However, small your investment may be, especially if we are still in our income generating years, because once we have got the ball rolling, we tend to continue. So after you understand what the passage is all about, you identify the clues in the text. So the clues can be found before or after the word. So so if we look at here, the clues can be found after the word for rolling, which is small investment. So I will write here. Small investment. Okay. So after we found the clues, look at the answer choices given. So if we look at the answer choices given, we all know that a small investment means that we begin to investing in small amounts of money. So the most accurate answer for this question for the answer is C. Begin investing even if in small amounts. So the answer is C. Okay. And then move on to the next question. So I will read the statement first. If the female clownfish is removed from the group, such as by death, the next largest and most dominant male will become female. Lines 23 until lines 25 indicates that. So after you understand and after you read read the statement, you highlight the keyword. Step 2. Okay. So after you highlight the keyword, you go to the passage and refer the lines that were stated in the text. So the line that was stated in the text is here that I already capture and put in here. You can see if the clownfish is removed from group, such as by death, the next largest and modern male will become female. So you read after that, you read the sentence, the full sentence, and you understand what is the sentence is all about. And after that, you identify the clues in the text before or after the word. Okay, so this is the first picture here is the first clue, which is when a fish change from female to male, we call this protogeny. When it changes from male to female, it is called protandry. So if we look at the statement here, it is say dominant male will become female. So this. So that means the female that dominant male will going through the protandry process. So that is the first clue that we get. Okay, so I'm going to write clues here. Okay, so is there a male male become female, it is potentially. Okay. And then if we look at then we look at the answer choices given. So the most accurate answer for this type of question is C, because we can see the process of potentially here, and also the sex changing, because when the fish is changing the gender from that gender to another gender, that's mean that's called the sex changing process. So this is also the keyword. Okay, so uh, the answer that we can actually most accurate answer for this question is C. So we highlight C. Okay, that's all from me, and that's how you answer MAG question. And I hope that my explanation is beneficial for you, and I hope that you can do better in MUET. But my advice will be that you need to expand your vocabulary to answer this type of question, because it actually requires us to use our vocab. And we can also find the clues, but it's more advisable if we can learn new vocabulary. So that's all for me, and thank you. I hope you do better in MUET. I hope this my explanation can give you uh, something beneficial.
Okay. Thank you, Alia, for that excellent explanation. Okay. And last but not least, we are going to listen to our final presentation, and our and she's going to talk about inference type question. Okay. Now, Mashita, are you ready? Mashita?
Yes.
Okay. Ready? Okay. So over to you, Mashita.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mashita binti Muhammad RIDHUAN and representing HOSHIS, and I will be presenting the making inference type of question. Making inference is on how we make assumptions or educated guess to get the answer, because the answer does not stated in the text. Now, I will share with you one of my SOP. Okay. How inferring can get the answer. Step 1 is to read and understand the statement, preferably 2 times. Next is to highlight the keywords. In this type of question, highlight the keywords in making inference is the keywords are more to focusing on words or phrases. And step 3 is to go through the answer option. After you highlighting the keywords, you go through the answer option to get to know what is the statement is talking about, and to make us a guess what to answer. Next is to skim the area of passage where the keywords are mentioned. The statement will ask you to refer the line that was stated. Therefore, you have to refer to this text, and I advise for you to read the whole paragraph to make us more understand and to get the clues to answer the question. Step 5 is to read the first and last sentence in each paragraph. There is another option where you can get a clue, because the clue can be in the first or the last, or even in the middle of the paragraph. Following is to check for each answer that best describe the statement. After you read the paragraph, the whole paragraph, and the line that was referred, go back to the answer option where you can make assumption, where you can guess what the best answer could be, and highlights the clues where you go back to the text after you found one of the clues that could help you to answer this question. Step 7 is to make an educated guess for the best option that describe the statement. After you found the clues, try to make an educated guess, make an assumption where you can because this is what the question is all about, where you have to make because the answer is not stated in the text, but the clues is there, but therefore you have to highlight the clues to make you more understand and to know what the answer are. The number 8 step is to eliminate the option that does not describe the statement. Once you go through the answer option, you might have found that one of the answers is not consistent with the statement. Therefore, you can eliminate that answer to help you to get more the correct answer. And step 9 is to repeat all the steps. Repeat all the steps to ensure that important information is not missed. And finally, the last step is choose the best answer that describe the statement. And now I will show you one of question to help you answer it. Okay. In this question number 40, the phrase all walks of line 14 means it make us to refers to the line 14 in the text. But first, we need to highlight keywords which is the phrase that is stated. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Next is what the statement is stating us to refer to the line 14, which is here. I will be highlighting for you. This is the phrase that was stated in the statement. That means you have to focus whole paragraph, which is paragraph 3. The paragraph 3 is which said that from antique coins, collectibles, computers, memorabilia, stamps, toys, or Zimmer frames, you can buy or sell almost anything on eBay. In fact, people seem to sell just about anything on eBay. eBay seems to appeal to people of all ages and from all walks of life. It wants us to what the phrase is all about, which is the first of all, in the paragraph 3, you have to search for the clues that could help you to answer the question. And in the statement, my clue is antique coins, collectibles, computers, prints of all age. Okay, now back to the answer option. People with lots of hobbies, people from all over the world, people from different social classes, collectors who want to sell their collections. Look at the answer option A instead about hobbies. However, I could not find any words that said about hobbies in paragraph 3. So I can eliminate that answer. Okay. B is people from all over the world. It's always the paragraph 3 before the lines before the word before the phrase all walks of life, it does state people of ages, but it doesn't state from all over the world. Therefore, I can also eliminate this answer. There's C and D. People from different social classes. If you look at the clues that I highlighted, is antique coins, collectibles, and all that. The price, as you all know, the price point for all this collection is can be quite expensive, quite expensive and inexpensive too. Therefore, everyone can buy all these items. Everyone in all social classes. Therefore, my answer is B. I mean C, sorry. However, check again the uh, answer last D, the collectors who want to sell their collections. It also said, it does said there is a sentence that say sell almost anything on eBay, but it doesn't say who, and it also, the answer also doesn't say about buying. So therefore my answer is C. However, you have to repeat all the steps again to make you understand more of what is it talk about, and to more to get the answer correct, to preferably to recheck the answer. And moving on, I will move to the second question. Okay. Golden rice has to work just as well in the field as existing rice, which is the phrase that we need to refer in lines 9 and 10. Okay. Look at the answer option. A, have the same taste as conventional rice. B, be as easy to cultivate as conventional rice. C, match conventional rice in terms of production. Next, if after you go through the answer option, go to the text and understand the whole paragraph. Food fortification is another method of tackling VAD. This involves adding micronutrients to the food that is available. One way to achieve this is through genetic engineering. Scientists have created a variety of rice that contains beta-carotene, which is converted to vitamin A in the body. This rice, called golden rice, has been held as a cost-effective solution to child blindness. The creators of golden rice have granted free licenses to developing countries so that the farmers can afford the seed. However, the golden rice is still undergoing trials. As currently stand, yields of golden rice are not as consistent as yields of conventional rice. Farmers will only grow crops if they can make a profit. So golden rice has to work just as well in the field as existing rice for it to be a viable option. Once you read and understand the whole paragraph, you have to search for the clues, which the clues that I found here is golden rice is still undergoing trials as thing until the line 6, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. The last 4 lines. Okay. Now we go to the answer option. To have the same taste as conventional rice. In the whole paragraph, it doesn't talk about the taste of golden rice or any other rice. I will eliminate this question. B is easy to cultivate as conventional rice. There is quite a lot of words, the phrase of conventional rice in here, but I want to tell you that my answer option is C. This is because refer back to the ones that I've highlighted, golden rice is still undergoing trials. As things currently stand, yields of golden rice are not as consistent as yields of conventional rice. Farmers will only grow crops if they can make a profit, so golden rice has to work just well in field as existing rice for it to be a viable option. It means that the golden rice has to match the current rice that they have used, and the farmers who will be grow the crops, they need to grow crops so that it can how can I say, they the farmers will grow crops if the golden rice is as this can be the same as conventional rice. Because as it was stated that golden rice is still undergoing trials, and the farmers will make the that's why the phrase are focusing on the golden rice has to work just as well. Therefore, my answer option is C. Uh, that is all from me, and I hope what I have been shared with you will help everyone to answer the making inference type of question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mashita. And thank you to all the panelists for explaining to us about how to tackle their respective MUET reading comprehension question. Okay, so thank you, ladies. And thank you, everyone out there, for joining us. We'll see you again in the next episode of this webinar series. Thank you very much and good night.